Dearly redheaded, we are choosing consciousness today to get through this thing called grief. Interesting word, grief. It means love, which makes for a mighty good joke. But I'm here to tell you, there's nothing else. Just joy. And if the big picture tends to bring you down, go crazy once your life goes. Woo!
You can't see the red lights, but you're on now.
I'm on?
Yeah.
I'm on.
Okay, so we were just talking about you're wearing your blindfold right now.
I am. I wanted to have a different experience than having my eyes closed. I wanted to put the blindfold on and have my eyes open and talk to you.
Yes, and you also can relax and close your eyes some too. You asked the question, and I'm going to give you an answer about should you have your eyes open or closed under the mask? And truly, I mean, it honestly is a personal preference. But I will tell you that from my experience, with the analytical side and the adult mind, having your eyes open just helps that analytical side a little bit more accept. Oh, you're seeing, I guess you're seeing without your physical eyes, but since her eyes are open, perhaps. So to me, it just gives that analytical side a little bit of leverage so that it'll be a little bit calmer, if that makes sense. But many of the kids do not keep their eyes open. Of course, this goes into a whole nother aspect of this, but I've seen kids that can read behind their head. Even adults can see behind their head, above their head. So having your eyes open or closed technically shouldn't matter. Myself personally, I most often do start with my eyes open, but I will tell you, as I have the mask on and I'm doing the process and I'm practicing, I often cannot tell. I cannot tell if they're still open or they're closed because I'm not seeing out of them. So it's such a kind of cool phenomenon that you're just like, what's really going on? Especially when I have on eye patches. So a lot of times I'll do eye patches and then I'll wear mask. And again, I'll put my eye patches on and I think I have my eyes open. But once I'm into the process, I have no doubts that my physical eyes are they've checked out, So it's really a cool process.
Yeah, I is this supposed to be I got the mask you recommended. What is it called?
You're probably already seeing.
Well, I wanted to ask you, is it supposed to be total black?
Okay, so when you initially put that mask on, yes, that is 100% blackout mask. But I'm going to tell you quickly, for you could start seeing. You may start seeing.
Peripherally,
you got light.
Peripherally, I have light on the left side, and now very slight on the right. Yes,
and that is very common too. Typically, your window, we call it the window, when your window opens, and that's what you see out of in real time, it's usually a little bit bigger on one side. So it sounds like right
bigger
now,
on my left.
Yeah, so it sounds like right now you're leaning toward your left, which when I first opened, it was toward my left. But now a lot of times it's on the right. And this is, these are things that I always tell people to try to help them through the analytical process that you will go through. I don't care how right-brained someone is. We all still have an ego, and that ego is still trying to protect and still question and will still step in. So I just got to prepare people. This is what's going to happen, So it's going to try to figure out, how you're seeing is just step one, is what's going to happen first. So once your window is opening, even before your window is opening, because I described this a little bit earlier, the process I went through. but there are other things that could see. And some people describe something that looks like cheesecloth. So right now, you just said you had like the peripheral light. So what could possibly happen for you next is that it looks like just like a cloth. The first thing that you see after you start getting some light is typically shadows. So if you hold your hand or your arm in front of the mask and you practice moving it back and forth, you're probably pretty soon going to start detecting that shadow. You're going to see that shadow. A lot of times the first thing people see is their hand. They don't see they see the outline. They see the shadow of it. They don't see it like in, the real time immediately, but they get the shadows. And now this is where contrast of light really comes in to help a lot in the beginning. This is such an interesting journey. For kids, I don't use contrast of light. And I think that again speaks to how connected they already are to spirit, how non-analytical they are, right? But with adults, having a small flashlight, you could use a ring light, even the sun. The sun to me is the best, but having it like looking at a window instead of going out in direct sunlight, because when you're out in direct sunlight, there's not a lot of contrast. It's just bright, right? When you are in your house and you have your regular light, but you also have this like huge sunny window going on, to me, that is ideal. That is like my dream when I'm training a client, because I'm like, okay, you got a sunny window? Great. It's going to happen, right? So, but the flashlight does help too. Now, this is when, as you're doing this contrast of light, you're going to start seeing more. You're going to start seeing more. And this is where a lot of people get hung up. I mean, this is actually where a lot of people quit, because they convince themselves that they've cheated. They convince themselves that they have found a way to peek through the mask. There's so much I'm losing the word here, but sarcasm really around this, because the irony is, yeah, you're going to see through the mask. Let's think about it. You got to get through the mask to get out, to right. See out.
Right.
And so I always have to laugh when they tell me, I think I found a way to see through the mask. Well, what do you think you're going to see through? Right? And then, but what they're really trying to say is they think they found a way that they're peeping, like out the center. Now, this is when I would tell you that I believe, especially with adults, that we're seeing that dermal activation process that typically starts right between the eyes. So that is when people, that analytical mind goes completely nuts. It goes off the chain crazy, saying all kinds of stuff. And it's so sad because a lot of people just stop. And this is when I tell people, if you keep going, it's going to change. It's going to change.
Do you want an update?
Yeah, let's hear it.
Eyes wide open, I've got the purple.
Okay. Where is it? Everywhere?
No.
On the left?
It's primarily on the left. Very black though.
Okay, is your lighting? What's your lighting in your room like right now? Is it dark or?
What's our lighting like, Brian?
It's basically a studio light. Okay. Other than that, I would say on the darker side. I only have a single light.
Does she have a ring light?
No, it's not a ring light. It's a full on studio softbox light. It's probably at 50%.
So would you say then the whole room is the same lit? There's no extra light and there is no window.
No, there's no windows. It's a black painted studio that we're in.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So she literally has a light pointing right at her. So that's about it. Yeah.
Yeah. So because the room is pretty much the same lighting and there's not much contrast, it doesn't sound like, then that would typically make it a little bit more challenging to open, because I do think when you have contrast, think of this, when you have contrast you have shadows, right? And what you're trying
where
to
is
initially
I'm just, Brian, the light on me, what direction is it coming from?
The light on you is coming from your left.
Okay.
Okay, well that would be good validation that she is getting more sight to the left.
And it's at what I would say like a 11 o'clock position to you.
Now this blindfold is strong enough to block that out?
Yes. So the blindfold is, I mean, it will block out all light. But like I said, what's going to happen is your real-time sight is going to start to activate. As it does, you're going to see light.
Gotcha.
You're going to see the light. Then what you should be doing is turning your head slowly left to right and then up and down, just real slow, kind of scanning. You're basically scanning your environment. You're looking for your light. And when you do see brighter light, I always tell people to stare at it. That's where you want to kind of pause and think about.
This is a trip, Brooke.
It really is. I can't wait for you to do the course, the workshop. But yeah, and so if you had a flashlight, then you could shine it, kind of move it and shine it around.
You want to hear it? Okay. I was not being skeptical, but I was wondering, even though you said the light to the left would be blacked out, when I turn as far as I can to the left, the light's still there. So it's not the light, if anyone's...
Oh, that's good. Yeah, that's good.
I just don't want to lose my train of... See, I just closed my eyes to think. That's amazing. Wow, that's interesting.
Okay. I mean, that's so cool. I'm glad I think it's really nice that you're doing this so I can provide the feedback so people can kind of see how this process actually goes down. Because when you're starting, it's just noticing that light, and then what's going to happen for you is either it's going to get really bright and it's going to look like, people will say, like layers of cheesecloth.
I don't even know what cheesecloth is. Is that what if that's what you make cheese with? Like.
Yeah. Well, think about a paper towel.
All right.
You know what a wet paper towel looks like?
Yep.
That is kind of what it's going to look like you're trying to see through for a lot of people when it first starts. And then it kind of peels back. It gets thinner. And the window gets more open, and then eventually you get like that we call the real-time window, where it's probably going to be like a little circle at first. And a lot of people say it's like looking through a telescope because it's so small that you're usually able to see better, something farther across the room than you are real close up at first. And then it changes. And this is where I always, I get sad if I think people, kind of give up on the process because they let their analytical side convince them that either they're not doing it right, which there's no right or wrong. Okay. This is a personal journey.
Now, I'm not even sure I have a left hemisphere, so I'm not worried about my analytical side.
But they'll be like, oh, I must have not done it right. I need to make sure I did the steps right. I'm like, no, these are guidelines. These are not like right or wrong, and then they will, of course, let the analytical side convince them that they found a way to cheat. And you know what's so funny? I just like to bring this in here is that of all the children that I have trained and worked with, I have not had one single child think that they were cheating. Not one.
I knew where you were headed. Yeah.
Not one freaking time. Adults, 99%. And even, that's what I said, even the most right brained, I'll tell you, I'm very right brained. And, you know, I still have to silence my analytical mind sometimes. As long as I have been doing this, as many people as I have taught and watched on this journey, my analytical side still tries to peep up. I mean, I'll be wearing 2 sets of eye masks and 2 sets of patches. Like, they're so concealed, so tight that there is absolutely no way in the world that I could have been seen with a physical eye. And my left side will still try to be like, oh, did you figure something out? I'm like, are you kidding me now?
I can't even imagine that. Like that.
Right? But this is what I want to tell you, how strong that protector ego is. And you've got to remember that protecting side is going to do anything it can. It'll go up against anything to try to keep you where you are, comfortable. And when it gets challenged by, things that it has not experienced, it's going to come up against it. And it's going to be like giving you things. I mean, that's what's so funny.
I think my higher self has my left hemisphere in a chokehold.
I hope so. That's awesome.
This is a remark, like doing this like publicly, like doesn't even fucking faze me. It's amazing what you experienced my left side couple episodes ago expressing the concern, but when I inevitably do this stuff, I'm having a great time.
Now tell me, when you smile and you just laughed and stuff, did anything change for you in the mask? Like, did it get brighter?
Pin got a fucking brighter. Holy shit! Like pinholes of light. Yes. So that is what people describe also, stars or pinholes. Oh, wow. See, I knew laughter. What did I say? I said fuck. Oh. What made me laugh? Making jokes about, this is a trip. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so all the little pinholes are going to open, and so what's going to happen? You keep practicing, But like I said,
I'm gonna tell my favorite joke.
Okay, let's hear it.
And it's a joke I wrote. A savant and a Eurodite walk in a bar.
I'm sorry, this is already too good. Go ahead.
The Eurodite ducked. That's the end of the joke. You either get it or you don't, and it means different things to different people. It doesn't have one meaning. But that's my favorite joke I've ever written.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's hilarious. So now, did it change?
Yeah, it's intensifying the right side.
Actually, this is so funny that we're talking, and I had told my husband, I was like, she's does comedy, and now that I'm talking to you, I have said this in multiple trainings and workshops.
Do you ever have sex with the blindfold on?
I have not tried that. Well, not that blindfold. But, here's the thing. I would be seeing. So
sorry. Keep going. I derailed you. Go ahead. Go back.
I would have to have like a whole total face mask or something. I don't know. But anyway, no. I told my husband, I was like, because I had mentioned in many workshops that I'm just going to start telling jokes. And that truly is what could help people open.
I know this in my soul. I was talking about, and I'm fucking derailed at this point, but I was talking about the pseudo bulbar effect. Have you ever heard that? Where people
is that the joke thing?
Now, Brian, that was my last podcast, right? It was. Yeah. I have just terrible memory, but the pseudobulbar, I know a pubic hair about it, but it's when someone has a neurological condition where they have uncontrollable laughter or crying.
Oh, okay.
So my joke is I want to be able to do that with an audience talking about their most traumatic experiences to trigger the laughter.
Yes. Well, that could be healing.
I know, but
you bring that up. A lot of these autistic individuals, I know my son Robbie has episodes sometimes of that, either extreme highs or extreme lows, and it's out of nowhere.
Temple Grandin, you're familiar with Temple Grandin?
Yes, yes.
I met Temple, and it's so hard to explain, but I hope I didn't open a can of worms.
Yeah.
But she asked me if I had a how did she put it? Essentially, and I just closed my eyes again to think. That's amazing. But if, with autistics, often, more so in males than women, I'm not trying to generalize, but
yeah.
Do you have a crier, or do you have the more angry rage side of things?
Right.
The pinholes are starting again. This is amazing. And in my case, if you can move an autistic out of the rage, anger into the crying, how cathartic that is for them, even though it's often hard for the
release.
Even though it's often tough for the caregiver, because crying is almost tougher sometimes than the anger for the caregiver.
Yeah,
because the crying is so intense.
Yeah, I've experienced all of it, and I mean, knowing what I know about consciousness and energy, I truly just think it's just being on those higher frequencies and feeling.
So go to that with the sound thing. That's where we were going to start this episode.
Yeah, I don't even know how we totally forgot about that. So I personally had a sound experience.
Brian, put your clothes back on. Sorry. Just telling Brian. Brian's testing me. I can tell he's flashing me and
that's funny. But like you were kind of describing, it was not ringing. It was like this extremely loud, like just sound that I can't even describe it. I mean, honestly, when I think about it, I do feel like I was just tapping into like something higher, and I was like, experiencing it and feeling it, and it scared me so much. It was a random night. And, I didn't really give it a lot of thought. And like, I wish that I had thought more about what happened, like right after it. I know when it was, because I had went to an event that day with a friend. So if I went back and looked at the timeline and just tried to kind of figure out, well, what changed in my life? Because it was almost like an upgrade is the best way I can describe it. It was like some frequency came in, and I had this, it was like this sound that was so overwhelming, and I couldn't stop it. And I didn't know what it was. And I just remember I kept saying, please stop, please stop. Like I was very, unnerved with it. And it did eventually stop. And I have not really experienced that again. But what I'm trying to remember is like, was there a significant change, in my story and what happened in my life after that? So it's very interesting that you bring that up. I do think it's absolutely, tapping into it's a higher frequency that's coming in for you.
Yeah. And it changes, like an analogy would be like a hearing test. Like sometimes there's one consistent sound or noise, and then very often on my left side, the noise will be like a hearing test. I'll get one of those hearing tests. It's an analogy. It's not exact, and that is I know that's when I have to pay attention.
Right.
Because I was teasing, but I'm not teasing when I say my intuition is autistic. I tend to need things in threes.
Right.
And I've heard Lee Harris, I've heard other people talk about that phenomenon where you just get without really looking for it, you get those reassurances.
Yes.
So,
and also just, talking about the autism and the sounds, we know that, they absolutely they hear more than we hear, and it, of course, many of the autistic individuals will wear earphones, at all times. They'll wear the headphones because they're trying to help silence that noise. But I really think, like you're describing, I feel like a lot of that is in their head. It's an internal, it's a frequency that they're tapping into that's a constant. And this is why a lot of them are overstimulated and they need help, calming and that sensory perception.
yeah, and the 3D perspective drives us.
Yeah.
I mean, the 3D is particularly hard on autistics.
This is so I got Robbie a panda drum, since we're talking about frequency and sounds. Are you familiar with that?
No.
It's it's a small like drum that he can just beat with his little sticks. But it's set to like these beautiful frequencies. It's not the typical obnoxious, like, oh my gosh, this drum, and he loves it. He loves it. And I know it's because it's balancing to him.
Yep.
It's beautiful. Yeah.
Yep. How many minutes are we at, Brian?
You are at 26 minutes. I was just about to jump in and say, hey.
I can tell. Yeah. I can tell. All of a sudden, I can tell time. That's funny because I
How's the mask? How's the mask going?
There's a definite correlation with when we get funnier.
Happy.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's a definite correlation because the sound in my head is not there.
Oh, that's cool.
I've tried to tune in to see, like I have to have a place for it because, but it's not there. And it's still predominantly left.
Brighter.
Huh?
It's brighter on the left.
And I can see the pinholes. Kind of looks like I'm looking at a waxing moon.
Oh, that's good.
Right?
Yes.
Or a waning moon, or the when the shadows over the moon on the left, and the right is being I'm so right-brained, it's funny to me that the right brain is duller, but whatever. I'm also very left-handed, so this is kind of.
That's really cool, though.
It's almost like the opposite of what I would have thought. And then I started to play with the shadow thing, but I'm getting, which I get in life, I'm getting more imagery.
Oh, yeah, you're going to get. So we know you're very intuitive, and you're going to probably see all kinds of stuff, like just in your mind's eye. You know what I mean?
Oh, God. I'm afraid. No, I'm not.
No, it's good. It's good. You probably will just pick up on, more like remote viewing and.
Yeah, I want to, but I also simultaneously want to heal. I want to do the deep brain reorienting, and that is tied to having more perspective on, and I say it all the time, but I'll say it again, just where my sons are concerned, because I, God forbid, don't want, as challenged as I am in my relationships with them, I feel that this is my time, and it sucks because it's just, I wish it was different.
Right.
But I just can't wallow in that.
Right.
Especially when, you know, it's such a prevalent time to lead with feminine energy and what's possible and what we can do to spare others grief and incite joy. You know, this is when our countries are making it easier to commit suicide. It's just so fucked up what's going on, you know?
Oh yes, for sure.
So
yes.
it's yeah, I think for the last episode I'm gonna take it off. Only because now I'm kind of fired up. I want to see what it's gonna feel like with it off. I want to see if it's any different, because I've talked to you basically now for the first time in the 4 episodes with my eyes open. I'm just curious if I'm going to go back to having my eyes closed.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, this is a trip, Brooke.
I love it. I'm so glad you've been doing it. It's been about 20, 30 minutes.
Yep, yeah. We're at 30 minutes, and I'm going to take it off. You know what? I'll take it off for the end of this episode. Yeah. Oh, shit, I can't. I got the headphones on. Hang on.
It should Velcro in the back.
Yep. Wow, that was a trip. All right, hold on. Damn headphones. Hang on, Brooke.
No, you're good.
Brian, what is it with me and these head? Brian. Brooke, hang on. Don't make people watch this. All right.
I'm going to.
Here, Jesus Christ. Hold on, Brooke. All right. I hate you. There we go. I struggle with the headphones.
Are y'all there?
They're always, not always, but they're often, they have to, I can't explain it. I give up. That was neat. That was neat. Brian cut a left. Your fly's down, man.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Look at that.
I noticed that with the blindfold on, but I didn't want to scare you.
Thank you for listening and supporting Natural Born Redhead. If you follow the bouncing balls, please like and subscribe. If you know someone interested in sparing others grief and inciting joy, message me on Facebook or reach out via my website, Natural Born Redhead. J-Ma.